It's not that LSU is bad. It's that everything is going badly for LSU. Let's talk about so many things happen around the state of Louisiana, and particularly in Baton Rouge, that have led to a newsy segment just before Thanksgiving. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on the step mill. This is your first time watching Adapt and Respond. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Did you expect that LSU would reverse course and inform Brian Kelly that he was, in fact, terminated without cause and that they will owe him the $54 million that they are contractually obligated to pay him upon fire him without cause? Did you also think that Garrett Nussmeier would not be able to go against Oklahoma in what could be the last time that we see Garrett Nussmeier in the purple and gold? And did you think Marshall Faulk would become the new head coach in Baton Rouge before they find their next head coach in Baton Rouge? Because that also has happened. Like, on the rip, Michael Van Buren's getting the start for LSU against Oklahoma. Garrett Nussmeier, who hasn't played since November 8th, continued to be out with an abdominal strain. I'm not sure what to make of this, right? The injury being legitimate, but having another year of eligibility, does he want to do that? Is it going to be at LSU? Are we waiting to find out if it's Lane Kiffin? Because if it's Lane Kiffin, you got to believe that Trinidad Chambliss and or Austin Simmons would be coming as well, to say nothing of who might be the next head coach at Ole Miss. If Lane Kiffin decides that he's going to not stay in the SIP, I think that he should stay at the SIP, because this is just a mess at LSU. And I don't think it's that much better at Florida. And there's nothing like knowing just what is expected of you and the environment around you when you might leave that environment for a little bit of money, all to find out that it's not really that great over there. Ask Chip Kelly about leaving Ohio State to be the Vegas Raiders to become the highest paid assistant coach in the NFL, right? Like, he got fired after 11 games. It can go bad. And at LSU, it can go bad very quickly because politics is the name of the game over there. It ain't really football. Like, you ain't seeing the governor of Mississippi really getting into it on Ole Miss football, but it's been wild to see how Jeff Landry has single-handedly taken the second best job in college football and made it into one of the worst jobs in college football, at least temporarily, right? It's got all sorts of crap on it now, because not only did you fire Brian Kelly after 3-4 start to the season, but after they lost to a Texas A&M team that looks to all the world like they're going to make the college football playoff, you neutered the athletic director, who done a really great job, hired your baseball coach, won a national championship, Hakeem Mulkey, done a really great job, among other things, right? And Brian Kelly. Now, you're saying he's not going to be the next guy to make the hire for the next guy, which if it's an athletic director, that's the most important hire I make in my career. I got to go. And that's exactly what happened. So they parted ways. So you were without an athletic director and a president and a head coach there for a little bit. They got the president, they got the athletic director. Now they need the head coach, and they're basically waiting on LSU to, Lane Kiffin to say, are you going to take this $100 million contract to come down here to LSU? All while they just come around to, that thing that we want to do where we informed Brian Kelly that he was terminated for cause might not hold up in court, even in the state of Louisiana, where a judge got to look at this with a straight face and go, yo, you want me to lie for you? For who? For what? It's in black and white. There's no lie to tell here. You owe that man his money. So now LSU is going to be watching Brian Kelly's stories on Instagram and looking at his snap to make sure that he is trying to get another job, so they don't have to pay out the full amount of this $54 million over 6 years. They're going, hey, you've been trying to get a job, you should try to get a job. Gonna be on us like Craig's daddy. You know what I'm saying? It's Mr. Jones gonna be like, round here, you get a job, you gonna work, go to school. You ain't going to school, you ain't got no job, you ain't got to worry about catching no dog. You got to worry about a dog catching your ass. And that's what it feels like LSU is going to be trying to do while they going to back this truck up to pay Lane Kiffin, they hope, $100 million. What I also find funny about all of this is everybody tries to stay broke up there in that real rich tax bracket, and they keep coming up with all the monies to go do these stupid things like hire one of the more successful coaches of the last 15 years, Brian Kelly, and then fire him, and then try to go get Lane Kiffin, who hasn't exited any place well. Ole Miss would probably be a place that does qualify by his standards, nobody else's, right? Got run out of Oakland, Raiders head coach, got run out of Tennessee, got run out of USC, got fired by Saban before they got to play for a national championship, made way for Steve Sarkisian to become offensive coordinator and eventually head coach at Texas. Another dude who was rehabilitated in the Nick Saban rehabilitation clinic. Also, Lane Kiffin get to Florida Atlantic, get to Ole Miss, turn it into one of the better seasons they've ever had, if not the best season they've ever had, depending on how it goes. All to be like, yo, I might have to make some decisions. Then later tonight, we find out that Michael Van Buren is going to start against Oklahoma, which is the number 2 quarterback. And Michael Van Buren, who looks talented and showed some talent against Mississippi State, he ain't thrown for 300 yards all month. And his best outing was against Arkansas, 221 yards, 67% completions, 4 TDs. But it's Arkansas. And that interim defense coordinator is not good. They also got problems at Arkansas that have nothing to do with Bobby Petrino or Sam Pittman. I mean, they got coaches hitting players in a way that the players bleed, and then that gets out, and it's a mess. While Arkansas is still looking for its next head coach, and Eric Morris is off the board to Oklahoma State. That would have been a great hire. I think young Bobby Petrino might be what you're thinking about there, quarterback whisper. People forget Bobby Petrino is the guy that created Lamar Jackson as the Heisman winner and a guy that was going to be one of the best players to ever play the sport at the professional level, all while running that really hard offense. And then my favorite bit of news come out of all of this, Marshall Faulk is no longer going to be the running backs coach at Colorado. He's going to be the head coach at Southern, which means that we get Mike Vick, we get Prime, we get Eddie George, and we get, it's right there on the tip of my tongue, Deshaun Jackson, who've all been head coaches in HBCUs or are head coaches at HBCUs. Marshall Faulk to Southern makes all the sense in the world. That dude is from Louisiana. He is from New Orleans. He wanted to play running back at LSU. He wanted to play running back at a big-time college football program, and they said, nah, you play corner out here. He went out to San Diego State, became one of the better running backs to ever play the game. Sometimes it's just stupid. Now Marshall Faulk, who knows better than anybody else the kind of talent that the state of Louisiana kicks out each and every year, can turn Southern into a monster very quickly. Also means Prime's going to go get another running backs coach. But I'm more excited about that Marshall Faulk to Southern thing because I think it's another good man who gets to be a good head coach and a Pro Football Hall of Famer in his own right that can carry the same sort of halo around him when he goes for into recruiting that Prime did. So he's going to get players that you wouldn't otherwise get. All this has happened this afternoon. What a wild, 4 hours. Brian Kelly terminated for cause. Michael Van Buren going to get started. Marshall Faulk, new head coach at Southern. Wild.